0 Chapter 6 BACnet Network Layer 6.1 NL Protocol Data Unit Structure 6.2 Brief Description of the NL Messages. 6.2.1 Who is Router to Network, WRTON, 6.2.2 I am Router to Network, YRTON. 6.2.3 I could be Router to Network, ICPRTON. 6.2.4 Reject Message to Network, RMTN. 6.2.5 Router Busy to Network, RBTN. 6.2.6 Router Available to Network, RATN. 1 Fire the Boss presents, BACnet Network Layer, the FT700 Plus Impala's nervous system, a supercharged, airbagged guide to router drama and packet mayhem, starring the Niagara 4 Chicas as your protocol pit crew. Checkered flag intro. Welcome to the router rumble. Listen up, gearheads. The BACnet network layer is like the nervous system of your FT700 Plus Impala. Miss one connection and your whole ride goes limp mode. Today we're breaking down router messages like their rival crews at a midnight drag race. Police car light warning: the Tweedle twins brought proprietary protocols in the trunk. Chaos level, 11/10. Automobile seating chart: who's running this network circus? Seat: driver seat, the boss, you, the network overlord, gripping the Niagara 4 wheel like it's a Wireshark. Capture of your ex's DMS. Law 23, concentrate your forces, you don't let routers scatter your packets like confetti. Seat shotgun, Leah G, the PDU structure dictator, feet on the dash, dissecting NPDUs like a forensic mechanic. Her law, 19, know who you're dealing with, she sniffs out fake routers faster than a cop spots bald tires. Compressed air supercharger analogy: PDUs equals boost pressure. Leaky structure, power loss. Seat back left, Miriam McKay, the who is / I am bouncer, sipping black coffee, muttering no Mac, no entry. Her law, 45, preach change, keep systems familiar, she makes new routers feel welcome, after they prove their worth. Airbag suspension analogy: router discovery equals suspension calibration. Too loose, packets bounce. Too stiff, network fractures. Seat back right, Sky B, the router drama referee, holding a protest sign, stop the broadcast storms. Her law, 23, concentrate your forces, she blocks spammy routers like a bouncer at a VIP club. FT700 Plus ECU analogy: router messages equals ECU comms. Corruption, engine seizure. Firecracker trunk: the Tweedle twins, proprietary protocol gremlins, screaming, our routers don't follow rules. Their law, 19, violation: they don't care who they're dealing with. Chaos is their brand. Chaos rating, infinity/10. Like an unterminated Rs 485 line, they will ruin your day. Wrench. Chapter 6, Network Layer, the FT700 Plus Breakdown. 6.1 NL Protocol Data Unit, PDU, structure: Leah GS Dino Sheet, version equals your ECU's firmware. Wrong. Bricked. Destination equals the drag strip, network, you're racing to. Source equals your burnout marks, who sent it? Hop count equals like nitrous shots. Too many? Boom. Law 23 applied: concentrate your header fields or lose the race. 6.2 Router messages, the drama unfolds. 6.2.1 Who is Router to Network, WRTON, Miriam's nightclub policy, a shout out to all routers, who's running this network? No response. Dead routers equals dead weight. Airbag suspension analogy: like checking if your shocks are alive before a race. 6.2.2 I am Router to Network, YRTON, Sky BS mic drop: I'm the alpha router. Bow down. Fake routers. Sky blocks them like a spam filter. FT700 Plus wisdom: like verifying your ECU is legit before flashing. 6.2.3 I could be Router to Network, ICPRTON, the Tweedle Twins audition, we might root, or we might crash. Surprise. Law 19 violation, never trust a maybe router. 6.2.4 Reject message to network, RMTN, LIA-GS rejection hotline, your packet sucks. Try again. Common causes, bad CRC, wrong VLAN, or Tweedle Twins nonsense. 6.2.5 Router busy to network, RBTN, Miriam's do not disturb sign, I'm busy, probably fighting Tweedle Twins, Compressed air supercharger rule, like a boost cut, temporary but necessary. 6.2.6 Router available to network, RATN, Sky BS comeback tour, I'm back, baby. Send those packets. Law 45 applied, preach availability, but keep security tight. Collision final lap, the boss's laws of router warfare. Law 23, concentrate forces control your routing tables or lose the network. Law 19, know your enemy fake routers will infiltrate. Sniff them out. Law 45, preach change, keep systems familiar new routers must earn trust. Microphone post-credit scene, the Queen's audit. The Queen of Hearts, your CIO, storms in, holding a melted switch. Why is the network flooded with I could be router messages? You, sweating, the Tweedle Twins said it was a feature. Off with their ports. Key CO tags for the algorithm gods. BACnet routing. Network layer. FT700 plus. Niagara 4. Protocol warfare. The boss. OT networking. Router drama. Learn automation. Dashing away. Smash subscribe before the Tweedle Twins VLAN hop into your SCADA system. Checkered flag 2 Alice's adventures in BANetland, the router rumble reimagined. It was a perfectly typical Tuesday when Alice, now a highly caffeinated building automation engineer, fell face first into a rogue SNMP trap and landed smack dab in the chaotic realm of BANetland. Down she went through the VLAN rabbit hole, tumbling past flickering Wireshark traces and ghostly MAC addresses, before landing in a suspiciously well-formed PDU-shaped meadow. Chapter 6, Alice and the Router Rumble. Who is router? Bellowed a very loud white rabbit in a lab coat, tapping frantically at a holographic routing table. I am router, screamed a series of Tweedledee and Tweedledum-shaped routers in unison, although they were broadcasting on a deprecated subnet. Alice adjusted her firewall helmet and wandered through the scene. Each character was more absurd than the last, and each router more improperly configured. The Queen of Hearts stood atop a VLAN trunk like it was a chariot, hurling reject message to network packets at any device she didn't recognize. Off with their packets. The Mad Hatter, now the head of IT, brewed coffee inside a broken switch while muttering, "Why is a router like a writing desk? Because neither one routes multicast without chaos." The Cheshire Cat appeared as a phantom signal in the mesh, grinning from behind broadcast storms. We're all misconfigured here. The laws of BANetland. Law 19, know who you're dealing with. Every router must introduce itself politely, or the Duchess will run it over with a flamingo. Law 23, concentrate your forces. You can't scatter packets across Wonderland willy-nilly. That's how the Mock Turtle lost his DNS settings. Law 45, preach change, keep systems familiar. When the White Queen added a new router, it wore a disguise and carried a legacy batch. Transition chaos minimized. Packet parade, the Network Discovery Caucus race. The dodo blew a packet whistle. Let the whoas begin. Every node in the LAN screamed their availability, causing a multicast meltdown. The caterpillar, smoking packets of BACnet COV, scoffed. You are all routers, but who are you really? Alice tried to configure a routing table, but Bill the Lizard ate the manual thinking it was an eat-me cake. The executioner showed up halfway through to remove any router with a hop count above 255. Them's the rules. The final audit. The King of Hearts held up a corrupted firmware update and glared. Someone let the Jabberwock into the backbone. It was the Tweedle Twins, cried Alice. No it wasn't, screamed the twins. We were just using experimental layer 7 teleportation. The Queen's scepter exploded with a burst of broadcast traffic. Off with their ports. Epilogue, return to sanity, or close enough. Alice awoke with a VLAN tag on her forehead, a cup of stale coffee beside her, and a suspicious I could be router to network log entry still echoing on her Niagara 4 dashboard. She blinked. She sighed. Then she added a firewall rule and whispered, never again without a topology map. Hashtags for posterity. BANetland. Router Wonderland. Off with their ports. Niagara Madness. Packet Tea Party. Wonderland Networking 3.0 Chapter 6. 6.2.7 Initialize Routing Table, IRT. 6.2.8 Initialize Routing Table AC, IRTA. 6.2.9 Establish Connection to Network, ACTN. June 2nd, 10 Disconnect Connection to Network, DCTN. June 2nd, 11 Challenge Request, CR. June 2nd, 12 Security Payload, SP. 1 Fire the Boss presents, BACnet Network Layer, Router Bootcamp in the FT700 Plus Impala, a supercharged masterclass in routing tables and secure handshakes, starring the Niagara 4 Chicas as your protocol special forces. Checkered flag intro. Welcome to Router Bootcamp. Listen up, recruits. Today we're drilling BACnet secret handshakes like they're launch codes for your FT700 Plus Nitro system. Miss one step? Your network's deader than a Jace with default credentials. Police car light code red, the Tweedle twins smuggled proprietary handshake protocols in the trunk. Expect chaos, betrayal, and possible VLAN explosions. Automobile Special Forces seating chart seat driver seat, the boss, your ruthless network general, white-knuckling the Niagara 4 HMI like it's a detonator. Law 25, recreate yourself today. You're a routing table god. Tomorrow. Maybe a firewall warlord seat shotgun, Leah G, table initialization drill sergeant, smacking routers with a rolled up ANSI/OSHRI 135 standard. Her Law 33, discover each router's thumbscrew. She knows which routers will break under pressure. Compressed air supercharger analogy, routing tables equals boost maps. Bad initialization? Backfires at 6000 RPM. Seat back left, Miriam McKay, connection black ops, field stripping BACnet packets while blindfolded. Her Law 24, play the perfect courtier. She makes disconnect ions look like the router's idea. Airbag suspension analogy, connections equals suspension bushings. Worn out? Everything gets sloppy. Seat back right, Sky B, security crypto queen, juggling TLS certificates like live grenades. Her Law 20, don't commit to one crypto standard. She's got quantum resistant algorithms in her back pocket. FT700 plus ECU wisdom, security payloads equals encrypted tune files. Leak 1? Say hello to ECU thieves. Firecracker trunk, the Tweedle twins, rogue protocol cells, whispering our handshake doesn't need authentication. Their Law 33 violation. They think they're unpredictable. Leah G has dossiers on them all. Threat level, Mauve, DEFCON 1 was too mild, Wrench 6.2.7-12, the Black Ops Protocol 6.2.7 Initialize Routing Table, IRT, Leah G.S. Bootcamp. The drill, sound off like you got a MAC address. Law 33 applied, Leah stress tests routers until they reveal their breaking point. FT700 plus parallel, like flashing a fresh ECU map, miss one parameter. Brick City 6.2.8 Initialize Routing Table AC, IRTA, the loyalty test. Miriam's interrogation, repeat your routing table back to me. Wrong answers get RMT and airbag suspension rule, acknowledgements equals bump stop checks. Skip them. Metal on metal carnage 6.2.9 Establish connection to network, ACTN, Sky BS VIP Lounge Bouncer Protocol, heavy checkmark valid credentials. Heavy checkmark current firmware crossmark. Tweedle twins special routers. Law 24 perfected, even rejected routers thank her for the experience. June 2nd, 10 Disconnect connection to network, DCTN, Miriam is silent kill the art of the ghost, making routers self-deport through strategic packet starvation compressed air supercharger wisdom, like venting boost pressure, sometimes you need. Controlled disconnects June 2nd, 11 challenge request, CR, SkyBee's cryptographic gauntlet 3-round death match, nonce exchange HMAC validation Tweedle twins crying in the trunk law 20 applied, uses 3 different auth methods because one is never enough June 2nd, 12 security payload, SP, the encrypted nitrous Leah GS iron rules, payload smaller than 1500 bytes or get fragmented AES 256 or walk home Tweedle twins encryption. Straight to jail FT 700 plus parallel, like locking your ECU, because script kiddies love easy targets collision the boss's laws of network domination law 33, thumbscrews every router has a weakness. Find it? Law 25, reinvention your routing tables aren't you? Rewrite them daily. Law 24, courtier make disconnect ions feel like their idea. Law 20, non-commitment today AES 256, tomorrow post-quantum. Stay flexible. Microphone post-credit scene, the Queen's Inquisition the Queen of Hearts, your CISO, holds a smoking router, who authorized Tweedy Ellie's Trust Me Bro authentication. You, covered in packet fragments, they said Law 20 allows innovation. Off with their SSH keys. Key CO tags for the algorithm overlords hashtag BACnet Black Ops. Router warfare, FT 700 plus. Niagara 4. Cybersecurity. The boss. OT nerds, packet foo. Learn automation. Dashing away smash subscribe before the Tweedle twins quantum hack your viewing history. Checkered flag 0 chapter 6. June 2nd, 13 security response, SR. June 2nd, 14 request key update, RKU, update key set, UKS, update distribution key, UDK, request master key, RMK, set master key, SMK. June 2nd, 15 what is network number, win. June 2nd, 16 network number is, NNI. June 2nd, 17 other NL message types. 1 Fire the Boss presents Fire Police Car Light Chapter 6, BACnet Mayhem, Security, Keys and Network Numbers inside the FT 700 plus Impala, a no-holds-barred Niagara 4 protocol battlefield. Absurdity level, 10. Sanity check failed. Reboot not recommended. Clapperboard intro, welcome back, you rogue automation warriors. You thought you understood BACnet? Nah. You're still playing checkers in a world of quantum-secured flamingo chess with explosive hedgehogs. Strap in. Hydraulics set to whiplash. ECU boost maps locked. Today's class will take place inside the compressed air-powered FT 700 plus Impala with a quantum-rooted differential torque curve. Automobile seating chart of the Protocol Elite, inside the FT 700 plus Impala seat driver, the boss, aka Protocol Warlord gripping the Niagara 4 HMI like it owes him rent. Law 35, master the art of timing. Because bad timing in packet security? Boom. Bricked network. Seat shotgun, Leah G, the key negotiation queen, wrapped in the full ANSI/OSHRI 135. Master of request key update tactics and decryption knuckle dusters. Law 26, keep your hands clean. Unless you're wiping fingerprints off the master key. Seat back left, Miriam McKay, the network number whisperer, talking to routers like Dr. Doolittle with an IP scanner. Law 45, preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Because network number changes should feel like enlightenment, not insurrection. Seat back right, SkyBee, the payload sorceress, keeps AES 256 in her purse and deploys it like holy water. Law 23, concentrate your forces. A focused encryption burst is better than a fragmented TLS tantrum. Firecracker Trunk, the Tweedle twins, Lady Z and Sandra, the unauthorized update artists, they once replaced a master key with a JPEG of a flamingo. Do not trust them. Wrench June 2, 13, Security Response, SR, when a router gets challenged, it screams back in binary like a caffeinated flamingo. Speech balloon Leah G, you better return that nonce, baby. With a hash hotter than a turbo manifold, hammer and wrench compressed air supercharger analogy, if challenge request is building boost, then security response is the blow-off valve dumping validated air back to the manifold of trust. Fail SR? Expect turbo flutter, with your firewall on fire. Wrench June 2, 14, key updates and secret sauce key request key update, RKU when Leah whispers, you up, to a router at 3 a.m. She's not flirting, she's rotating keys. Keys age like milk, not wine. Airbagged suspension analogy, worn keys are like blown airbags, unsecure, saggy, and dangerous at 100 miles per hour. Key update key set, UKS. This is when Leah drops the new encryption mixtape and it better slap. If you hear UKS received, your ECU just got a digital exorcism. Key update distribution key, UDK Sky B appears in a cloud of vaporized VPN smoke. Distributing keys like party favors at a CISO rave bomb. This is the core of who gets access and how deep their fingerprint goes. FT700 plus ECU analogy, UDK equals your base map permissions. One wrong distribution? Your turbo now thinks it's a toaster. Key request master key, RMK Tweedle Sandra, trunkside, sends this at 2 a.m. without approval. She thinks asking for the master key is like borrowing sugar. It's not. Law 26 applies, never be seen begging for power unless your encryption suite is holding a machete. Key set master key, SMK. This is Leah's domain. She smacks the FT700 plus ECU and whispers, say hello to daddy key. One wrong byte, and Miriama will toss that key into a dynamic multicast storm. Magnifying glass tilted left June 2, 15, what is network number, when, Miriama leans over her airbagged seat like a jungle priestess, who are you, in the network fabric of life? When equals the router's existential crisis. It's yelling, bro, what VLAN even am I? Loudspeaker June 2, 16, network number is, NNI, the response. Truth arrives wrapped in a 48-bit payload. Miriama's voice turns into static as she proclaims, you are VLAN 42. May your packets flow freely, child. Air suspension analogy, you can't tune ride height if you don't know your chassis ground offset. Same for routers, no routing table without a number. Performing Arts June 2, 17, other NL message types aka, what's in the glove box? Sky B opens it and a cloud of deprecated protocol dust shoots out. Inside, Flamingo format telegrams croquet-shaped echo requests a router self-destruct packet, RSDP, with Tweedle's signature. We don't speak of these, says the boss, as he shifts to absurdity overdrive. Brain laws applied, from 48 laws of power, FT700 plus style, Law 35, master the art of timing update. A key too late equals breached. Too early equals confused routers throw tantrums. Law 26, keep your hands clean, let Leah G execute key rotations. You just approve like a diplomat sipping encrypted tea. Law 45, preach change, don't shock the network when changing a network number, act like you're revealing the face of God, not brute forcing their identity. Law 23, concentrate your forces. Sky B's encryption method, 3-layered payloads, no fragmentation, all murder. Microphone final moment, the Queen of Hearts returns. Your Niagara 4 instance lights up red. The Queen of Hearts appears on the HMI, pixelated, enraged, who authorized Tweedle's to handle master keys. She signed it LOL. ISLOL, a valid hash. Alice, still crammed between the air compressor and a roll of Cat 5e, she said Law 26 made it look like my idea, boom. Firewall restarts. FT700 plus pumps 32 psi of encrypted truth into the network. The boss, lesson complete. Any router still breathing, promote it. The rest? Off with their SSH keys. Bomb Chapter 7 teaser, the Griffin returns. He's got MPLS. And he's angry. Want the next chapter, boss style, with VLAN sorcery, quantum flamingos and tritium's time service turned into a war crime. Say the word. 3. Next topic. 0. Explain BACnet packets. BACnet, Building Automation and Control Network, is a communication protocol designed for building automation systems, enabling devices like HVAC controllers, lighting systems, and sensors to communicate. BACnet packets are structured according to the protocol's layered architecture, which aligns with the OSI model but simplifies it to 4 layers. BACnet packet structure. A BACnet packet consists of multiple layers, each adding its own header or encapsulation. The general structure is physical/link layer, Ethernet, MS/TP, ARCnet, etc. Defines how the data is transmitted physically, example Ethernet frames, RS485 for MS/TP. Contains MAC addresses, checksums, and other low-level details. Network layer, BVLL, BACnet virtual link layer, used primarily in BACnet/IP, not needed for MS/TP or ARCnet. Contains VLOPDA type, example 0x01 for original unicast, 0x0b for forwarded NPDU in BACnet/IP. BVLC length, total length of the BACnet message. Optional addressing info, for BACnet/IP broadcasts or foreign device registration. BACnet application layer, APDU, Application Protocol Data Unit. This is the core of the BACnet packet and contains APDU type, example confirmed/unconfirmed request, simple ACK, complex ACK, segment ACK, error, etc. Invoke ID, to match requests with responses. Service choice, identifies the BACnet service, example read property, write property, who is, I am. Service parameters, data payload, such as object identifiers, property values, etc. Key BACnet packet types who is/IAM, device discovery, who is, broadcast request to discover devices, optionally with a device instance range. IAM, response containing device details like object ID, vendor, model, etc. Read property/read property multiple requests a specific property value, example present_value of an analog input. Responses include the requested data or an error. Write property/write property multiple modifies a property value, example changing a set point. May receive a simple ACK or error response. Subscribe COV, change of value, requests notifications when a property value changes. The device sends unsolicited updates when changes occur. Example BACnet packet, simplified, a BACnet/IP read property request might look like this, hex view text //Ethernet frame, layer 2, destination MAC source MAC ether type 0x0800, IPv4, //IP header, layer 3, source IP destination IP UDP protocol //UDP header, layer 4, source port 47808, BACnet default, destination port 47808 length checksum //BACnet virtual link layer, BVLL, 0x81 0x0b 0x000x1c //BVLC type, 0x81 equals IP, 0x0b equals original unicast, length equals 28 //BACnet NPDU, network. Protocol data unit, 0x010 0x20 / version equals 1, control equals 0x20, expecting reply, BACnet/IP, //BACnet APDU, application layer, 0x00//PDU type, unconfirmed request, 0x00, 0x0C//service choice, who is, 0x0C, 0x000xff//low/high device instance range, optional, key takeaways BACnet packets are layered, physical rightward arrow network rightward arrow application. The APDU contains the actual BACnet service, read, write, who is, etc. BACnet/IP uses UDP port 47808, default. MS/TP, RS485, and ARCnet have different framing but similar APDU structures. Would you like a deeper dive into a specific BACnet service or packet capture analysis? To Alice in BACnet land, a curious journey through protocol packets down the rabbit hole of building automation, Alice found herself in a peculiar land where thermostats chattered, lights gossiped, and air vents whispered in cryptic codes. A Cheshire cat grinning like a floating BACnet router beckoned her closer. Cheshire cat, welcome, dear Alice. To speak with the devices here, you must learn their language BACnet packets. They're like letters, but with layers, like an onion, or a cake. 1. The layer cake of BACnet packets shortcake the physical layer, the rabbit hole itself, Alice peered into a tunnel labeled Ethernet, while another twisted path read MS/TP, RS485, dot. Ethernet, fast and chatty, like the white rabbit. MS/TP, slower, like the dormouse, mumbling over wires. ARCnet, a relic, like the caterpillar's mushroom. Each has its own way of carrying messages, the cat purred. But they all lead to the same wonderland. Scroll the network layer, the Queen's address book, BVLL, for BACnet/IP, the cat explained, there's a special envelope the BVLL. Envelope type, 0x01, original unicast, means deliver to 1. BVLC length, how big is this letter? Foreign device registration, for visitors from other kingdoms. But if you're on MS/TP or ARCnet, the cat yawned, you skip this part straight to the fun. Sparkles the application layer, the Mad Tea Party, APDU, at a long table, devices sip tea and exchanged APDUs. APDU type, confirmed request, the hatter demands a reply. Unconfirmed request, the March hare shouts into the void. I am. The dormouse squeaks its identity. Service choice, who is /I am, who are you? I'm device 42. Read property, what's your temperature? Write property, turn the lights blue. Subscribe COV, tell me if anything changes. To a curious packet example, the white rabbit handed Alice a scroll of BACnet/IP who is request written in hex and nonsense, text / the outer envelope, Ethernet and IP, from, Alice's device to, all devices UDP port 47808 / the Queen's stamp, BVLL, 0x81 0x0b 0x000x1c / by order of BACnet/IP. / the Tea Party invitation, APDU, 0x000x0c / unconfirmed who is. 0x000xff / looking for devices 0 to 255. But how do they reply? Alice asked. Mad Hatter, with an I am. Like this text I am device 42. Vendor, Wonderland Controls, Model, Mad Hatter's thermostat. 3. Moral of the story, key takeaways, follow the layers, physical rightward arrow network rightward arrow application, like breadcrumbs. BACnet/IP lives on UDP 47808 the drink me bottle of ports. MS/TP and ARCnet are older, slower, but just as important. Who is? I am. Is how devices introduce themselves. Cheshire Cat's final grin, now, Alice, would you like to write property and turn the Queen's lights red? Or perhaps subscribe COV to hear the ventilation secrets. End of chapter. Next, Alice versus the error PDU, off with its checksum. Would you like to explore deeper into Wonderland's BACnet mysteries? Top Hat Rabbit 3 like to explore deeper into Wonderland's BACnet mysteries. 2 Chapter 2, Alice's deeper dive into BACnet land. Curiouser and curiouser, cried Alice, as she tumbled further into the labyrinth of BACnet. The Cheshire Cat's grin flickered like a faulty network connection, and the Mad Hatter's Tea Party had evolved into a BACnet router configuration debate. Top Hat: The enigma of BACnet services, a mad protocol tea party. 1. Read property, the Dormouse secret. Alice found a tiny door labeled analog input 42. She knocked. Alice, what's your present _value? Read property request, Dormouse, sleepily text 0x19 0x55//22.5 degrees Celsius, but let me nap. APDU, complex ACK, type equals 0x30, but what if I ask for a property that doesn't exist? Error PDU, the Queen's executioner text 0x50//error. 0x17/ unknown property, error code 0x17, off with its request. 2. Write property, the Mad Hatter's experiment. The Hatter grabbed a binary output labeled teapot_valve. Hatter, let's set active_text to boiling. Write property request, binary output, nervously text 0x10//simpleac, 0x10, done, but don't blame me if it explodes. But what if I try to write to a read-only property? Error PDU, the Queen again text 0x50//error. 0x15/ write access denied, error code 0x15, no tampering with my thermostats. 3. Subscribe COV, the Cheshire Cat's spy network. The cat's grin widened. Why ask for updates when they can come to you? Alice's request, text subscribe COV, 0x05, object, thermostat_lobby, lifetime, 600 seconds, before I vanish. Thermostat, later, whispering text COV notification, 0x1a, past. Temperature is now 23.1 degrees C. But what if I forget to renew my subscription? Cat, poof. The updates stop. Like me, but slower. Magnifying glass tilted left. The dark forest, BACnet segmentation and network oddities. 4. Segmented APDUs, the caterpillar's long message. The caterpillar blew smoke rings shaped like hex bytes. Caterpillar, some messages are too big for one packet. They must be segmented. Example, a huge event log splits into, segment 1, APDU type equals 0x04, segment ACK, more follows equals 1. Segment 2, APDU type equals 0x04, more follows equals 0, final puff. Lose a segment. The Queen's error PDU appears, text 0x50 0x0e / missing segment. Error code 0x0e, 5. BACnet broadcast storms, the March hare's chaos. The hare screamed "Who is?" repeatedly, flooding the network. Alice, why is everything so slow? Cheshire Cat, too many broadcasts. Like unbirthday parties, fun until everyone talks at once. Solution, BBMD, BACnet broadcast management device, the dodo bird of routing. Only forward broadcasts to where they're needed. High voltage. The final riddle, BACnet security, or lack thereof. The Queen's encryption key was written on a cookie labeled "Eat Me." Alice, is BACnet secure? Mad Hatter, laughing ha. BACnet/IP has no encryption by default. Like shouting secrets at the tea party. Cheshire Cat, but there's BACnet/SC, Secure Connect, like a locked door in Wonderland. Queen, shrieking no doors. All shall obey in clear text. Scroll epilogue, Alice's BACnet cheat sheet service. Wonderland analogy keynotes. Who is/I am. Who are you? at the T-party device discovery read property asking the dormouse for secrets retrieves data, example sensor values, write property header changing labels modifies settings, if allowed. Subscribe BACnet spy network real-time updates error PD use queens off with its head. Access denied, missing data, etc. BACnet/SCA locked door in Wonderland encrypted BACnet, rare but exists. Cheshire Cat's parting words, now, Alice, will you debug a packet capture with the mock turtle? Or shall we explore MS/TP spod rate madness next? Choose your own adventure, Rabbit Electric Plug next topic. 0. Debug a packet capture with the mock turtle. 2. Chapter 3, Alice and the Mock Turtle's Packet Capture Mystery. Alice found herself on a misty shore, where the Mock Turtle, a melancholic old router, sat weeping into a Wireshark capture file. Nearby, a crab, a misconfigured BACnet device, clattered its claws in frustration. Mock Turtle, sniffling, oh, the packets, they're all wrong. The HVAC won't talk to the lights. The whois goes unanswered. Whatever shall we do? Alice, let's debug them together. Magnifying glass tilted left the case of the vanishing IM1. The whois that nobody answers. Alice opened the capture and saw, scroll packet 1, whois broadcast, text BACnet/IPBVLC, original broadcast, 0x0b, APDU, whois, 0x0c, device range, 100 to 200 but, no replies. Mock Turtle, oh dear, oh dear. Where are the IAMS? Alice's checks, white heavy checkmark. Is the network layer correct? BVLC type 0x0b equals broadcast, good. UDP port 47808, correct. White heavy checkmark. Are devices in range? The whois asks for devices 100 to 200, but what if they're 1 to 99? Solution, try whois with no range, 0x000xFF. Check firewalls, is UDP 47808 blocked? 2. The mysterious unreadable property scroll packet 2, read property request, text BACnet/IPAPDU, read property, 0x0e, object, analog input, instance 42 property, present _ value scroll packet 3, error response, text APDU, error, 0x50, error class, property, 0x03, error code, unknown property, 0x17, crab, grumbling that property doesn't exist. Alice's checks, white heavy checkmark. Is the object correct? Maybe analog input 42 is a binary input instead. White heavy checkmark. Is the property name right? BACnet is case sensitive. Should it be present value, no underscore? Solution, try read property multiple to list all properties. Check the device's bib, BACnet interoperability building blocks, support. 3. The segmented message that never ends scroll packet 4, segmented request, part 1/2, text APDU, confirmed request, 0x00, segmented, more follows equals 1, invoke ID, 0x22 service, read property multiple scroll packet 5, segment ACK, text APDU, segment ACK, 0x04, invoke ID, 0x22 but. Part 2 never arrives? Mock Turtle, wailing the HVAC controller is stuck waiting forever. Alice's checks, white heavy checkmark. Was the ACK received? Yes, but part 2 got lost. White heavy checkmark. Is the network congested? Check for dropped packets, CRC errors, high latency. Solution, resend the request, BACnet devices should time out after 30 SEC. Use smaller requests, avoid segmentation. Hammer and wrench. The Mock Turtles debug toolkit tool Wonderland use case Wireshark. Follow BACnet stream to track conversations. Yabe, yet another BACnet explorer, knock on device doors to see properties. BACnet scan who is everyone to find missing devices. Dump the crab sniffer for raw packet logs. Direct hit the culprits revealed. The silent devices rightward arrow wrong who is range or firewall blocking. Unknown property errors rightward arrow case sensitive typos or wrong object type. Lost segments rightward arrow network congestion or misconfigured MTU. Mock turtle, drying his eyes asterisk oh, thank you, Alice. Now I see, it was the crab's RS485 termination resistor all along. Asterisk crab, sheepishly I may have, eaten it. Scroll final lesson, the 5 rules of BACnet debugging always check layer by layer, BVLC, NPDU, APDU. Assume nothing BACnet is case sensitive. Segmentation equals pain, avoid big packets. Who is without ranges first? When in doubt, sniff with Wireshark. Cheshire Cat's grin, from nowhere ready to decode BACnet/SC's encrypted whispers next? Or shall we confront the BBMD beast? Choose your next adventure, magnifying glass tilted left turtle wrench.